Draaien. Oké. Nou, mooi. Ja, kan ik. Fijn. Welkom allemaal. Het is een beetje de verkeerde volgorde volgens mij, want net was echt een heel diep praatje. Dit wordt iets minder diep, want dit is namelijk meer AI op hoog niveau voor dummies. Ik kreeg ook altijd op mijn kop van, we hadden het net nog over, Willem Mijns, InfoSupport, shout-out. Die doet, misschien ken je wel, die doet een heleboel met AI en dat soort dingen. En die vertelde mij laatst dat hij een beetje ervan baalt dat iedere keer met AI en dat soort dingen het geassocieerd wordt met robots die de wereld overnemen. Ja, sorry, ik ga het toch doen. Dus daar ga ik jullie vandaag iets over vertellen. Als we het dan hebben inderdaad over AI, deep learning, machine learning, dat soort dingen. Je hebt zoiets dat heet de Gartner Hype Cycle. Die ziet er zo uit. Het is misschien, het is een klein zaaltje, dus het is best wel goed te lezen, denk ik. En als je daar dan alle dingen projecteert die de laatste tijd een hype zijn, dan zie je daar eigenlijk een heleboel dingen. Ja, inderdaad, de machine learning, deep learning, virtual assistants. Ik heb thuis zo'n mooie Google Home staan die alles afluistert. Het is fantastisch. Waarschijnlijk wordt dat ook door Facebook allemaal opgenomen en zo. Die weten nu helemaal alles van me, dus dat is prima. Dus ja, dat is gewoon een hip en happening ding. En tijdens deze sessie gaan we even kijken waarom dat specifiek ook heel goed toepasbaar is binnen apps en dat soort zaken. AI is niet nieuw. Het bestaat eigenlijk al heel lang. Deze meneer was daar al vrij vroeg mee bezig, namelijk ergens rond 1950. Voor de mensen die hem niet kennen, dit is meneer Alan Turing uit Engeland. En die kennen we natuurlijk allemaal van die fantastische film van laatst. Nee, hij heeft hele belangrijke dingen gedaan. De Enigma-code van de Duitsers gekraakt en dat soort dingen. Als dank daarvoor hebben we hem chemisch gecastreerd en zelfmoord laten plegen. Dus dat is ook wel mooi. Maar deze meneer die, heeft daar al wat mee gespeeld. En die heeft op een gegeven moment... oh, you're gonna join and I'm gonna have to do it in English. Oh, so, but if it's in Dutch, you're not gonna follow anything.
I'm looking at the pictures.
No, I can do it in English. It's no problem. I'll just switch like that. That's what I do. So Alan Turing, he invented this imitation game thing, which is also called as known by its name, the Turing test, which looks something like this, and basically boils down to, wow, this is such pressure all of a sudden. Cool. So the imitation game basically says it does something with men and women, but what it comes down to is you have a person on the one side, not knowing whether it's talking to a computer or a person on the other side, and they're interfacing through a computer so that you can't tell through the voice or the looks or whatever that you're talking to either a computer or a person. And then whenever you can tell the difference, then it passed and computers are going to take over the world. Another project that set basically the outlines for modern AI is something called the Dartmouth project, and mainly Marvin Minsky has played a big role in this, which is a project somewhere in the Dartmouth College, also in England. And they took like a summer, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I don't know, and just made up this whole paper about what AI should, what AI is basically. This is what we refer to if we're talking about AI now. And it consists of basically these 5 categories. So knowledge, so it is able to determine certain entities and link them together, papers, that kind of stuff, everything that has to do with science, knowledge, perception. So that's like the computer vision stuff. Whenever you put an image, it's basically the thing that Seth just showed you. You put something in front of it and it knows like, hey, it's upside down, or this is a cat, or this is whatever. We'll see about this a little deeper in a little bit. Language, so it's able to understand language, written or spoken, which is basically the Google Home Assistant I just talked about. You just say, hey, Google, I want to see cute kittens on YouTube, and it will pop up my TV and it will show me cute kittens or something similar. But also it knows about intent. So basically that already in the Google Home Assistant I just told you, it knows that I want to watch something on YouTube on my TV, so it can filter out the intent and act on it. And also it can detect the sentiment, so whether I'm angry or not. So, hey, Google, show me the damn kittens. It knows I'm angry at Google, and it will fluff me a little more than usual. Problem solving and planning. So that includes navigation, and it can solve problems on its own. Maybe the robot vacuum cleaner, it knows like, hey, here's a wall, so I should go the other way, which is not really problem solving, but in a low level. And also reasoning, so it can know why things are happening and explain things. And if it reaches all these 5 stages, then we have a big problem. Then they become self-aware, Skynet is activated, and probably Seth is going to. I just told the people that some other guy, some Dutch guy who also talks a lot about AI, they're getting really tired of linking it to robots taking over the world. So I'm really sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry, because it's funny, you know. Okay, and we're actually training the AI. We're actively working with the people doing this. Because you probably, well, you've seen not this actual one, but you've seen the CAPTCHA things. And there's a bunch of images, and you click the one saying like, hey, show me where the bridge is. And Google knows there's 2 bridges in there. And the third option, you are confirming that it is a bridge, actually. So we are training the models for Google and whatever, and helping the AI to evolve even further. And this is already used a lot as well. This is for Seth in Dutch, a tweet on the train station. I don't know where it is, Amersfoort, so it's near Utrecht. And someone noticed this tiny camera hole at the top of this poster. And they were already scanning like, hey, how are people interacting with this? Are people liking this? Are males looking at this, or females? Or, well, they were scanning at least the people going by, and, well, you don't know what they're doing with the data. I mean, it's perfectly legal to do this, probably. It's an open space, so they can do it. But of course, it's not very nice to just do it without anyone warning them that they're being recorded and what the data is doing. So yeah, this is being used for, I don't know, actually. I don't know how this continued or what happened with the data. There are some more examples. There's also some good examples. There was an event by Ordina, I think, with Troy Hunt, so that was a nice link, where you could enter the event by uploading a picture up front, and you were then giving up all your rights and privacy and whatever. And then whenever you walked up to a terminal, it knows like, hey, it's you, welcome, and here's your pass and badge and whatever. So that's a nice thing, or else you would just have to check in at a nice-looking lady, but we're nerds, right? So we're going to the screen. So there's also some nice uses that you can put this for. So how does that translate to the apps? Well, that's actually very simple, because a lot of this has to do with input and output, basically everything. And your mobile phone has all the sensors that you could use for this. It has cameras on both sides, usually. It has a microphone. It has a speaker. You can type, so it has type input. It has all these kinds of sensors that you can use for all these AI purposes. And it can actually help you whenever you are building apps and you don't want to enter all the things. So you can just take a picture or scan something real quick, or say something to it. The Siri thing is, of course, very accurate as well. So that's how you can incorporate this into your apps. And for this, Microsoft has introduced the Cognitive Services. Here you see the 5 categories that Microsoft has divided them in. And you will probably see some resemblance with the 5 other categories I just shown you that have to do with AI. So the first, vision, they have divided them up in some subcategories. There's the computer vision. So these are just a set of general models that are trained by Microsoft itself. And you can just feed it a picture, and it will say, hey, here's the fluffy-looking bunnies that you were looking for. Content moderation, we're going to see that in a little bit, together with the computer vision as well. Content moderation is, of course, a very nice tool. If you're going to build the next Facebook and you want to scan your users' input for profanity or that kind of stuff, you can put it through content moderation, and it will automatically tell you like, hey, there's some nude pictures in here, so you might want to have a look at this before posting it. That would be an awesome job, right? Custom vision service, that's, I think, the expert version of the computer vision one. So you can train your own models. You can put a bunch of pictures in there and train your own model, and you can have it tell whether it's this or that. We're going to see that in a little bit as well. The face API and the emotion API, these are actually going to be merged, as I've been told. So the face API can tell you where in the picture faces are, and a lot of stuff, where the mouth is, where the left eye is, where the right eye is, where the right iris is, where the right eyebrow is, whether the head is tilted, or a bunch of stuff. It's creepy. And also the emotion API. So like I said, these are going to be merged. The emotion API can tell you whether someone is smiling or crying or whatever. Video indexer does a bunch of stuff with videos. So you can put a video through there, and it will tell you there's interesting stuff on minute 3 and 38 seconds. I don't know, didn't actually use that one. Speech, which is really nice for translator. I was at the Tech Summit, like probably a bunch of you, and I don't know how it was for the other sessions. Maybe Seth can tell you. There's this captioning thing going on at the people from Microsoft, which is really cool. So they do this text-to-speech like near real time, and it will automatically spell out everything that's being said. So the people with a, well, not a visual disability, but a hearing disability, they will be able to follow along as well. And there's this translator app, Bing translator app. I don't know, it's branded Bing. But it's really cool as well. You can just say, okay, I want to translate from English to Spanish. And you can just say a phrase in English. It will translate it to Spanish, tell it to the other guy, and it can talk Spanish back, and it will tell you English. So that's really nice progress on that part. Also, custom speech, so you can train it yourself again. Speaker recognition, I was hoping that I would talk to it and it would say, hey, Gerald, he's an awesome speaker. He gives great sessions. That's not what it's meant. It will identify whether you are talking or I am. So if I'm talking to my Google Home, it can identify whether I'm giving it commands or my girlfriend is. And whenever my girlfriend gives a command, then it says, no. Oh, shit, this is recorded. OK. Language. So this is the other part that I was talking about just now. It can understand language, so spoken language, written language, and it can also get out the sentiment, that kind of stuff. And some spell checker, that's also nice translate here as well. Knowledge, didn't do much with this yet. So let's skip it. And search, of course, Bing. So here's the whole Bing suite for you. Search images, auto-suggest, that kind of stuff. So let's knowledge. If I don't know, I don't extensively use this one yet. So I think it does something with academic papers, linking entities together, sorting that kind of stuff. And what I see also is Q&A maker. I think it can automatically generate like a Q&A thing on your website or based on a set of data. So. That's more the bot kind of thing. Yeah. The bots, you can link to a couple of these things to use these services and output them to the user. It actually uses the Lewis as well to understand the commands that you're feeding it, and also giving you back normal written language that you can understand. We'll see that in a little bit, how that all ties together. Search. This one I had to delete. Okay. So if you go to the website, which is short microsoft.com/cognitive, it will bring you here. And here you see all the different sections. And let's just go into Vision. You can try out these samples here. For instance, you can see the Computer Vision API whenever you click that. Then it has a couple of sample images for you. And as you can see, it just outputs JSON, because all these things I just shown you, they're available as REST APIs. So no models that you have to train or complicated console windows. Whoa, what's happening here? Okay, I'm way too dumb for all that kind of stuff, so I just need REST APIs that I can work with. That's something I understand, and it gives me back this JSON data with everything I want to know in here. So, for example, the computer vision API, if I feed it this image on the left, then it will give me back all this JSON with the description. You can mix and match whatever you want to give back here. You can say, okay, give me only the tags, don't give me the tags, so you can get all the data out here that you want. And it will tell me it's a train, it's a platform, I'm seeing a station, and it will also tell me the caption. So it will give you some kind of human readable description of what it's seeing. And here it says people waiting at a train station with like 83% confidence. So yeah, you can use this to describe what's seen in an image. And you also get some metadata like the dimensions and whether it's mostly black or white, if it's adult content. So this is also basically the content moderation part. The adult score, so that's basically the confidentiality score for the adult part. And you can also get some categories back. So yeah, you can put things, and basically everything has a score, so you can decide on that whether you're sure that something is in a category or it's adult or it's whatever. Also some stuff for the colors come back, so you can determine the dominant color in the background, foreground, which can be useful if you, for instance, try to create some nice blurry background thingy or some images that match with it. And you can get this stuff from here as well. And you can do this for any image. There's a couple of sample images here on the website. So you can say, okay, skyscraper, very nice. A black and white photo of a city. Now, that's pretty accurate, I'd say. And you can upload your own images here as well. But of course, you can start working with this for yourself. Everything is hosted on Azure, of course. So this is the Azure portal. And you can just create a new resource. And it has its own category right here, AI and Cognitive Services. And here you see the different services that are available: computer vision, face API, text analytics, and all the other stuff. I think here you can say see all. So this is just the most popular ones or something like that. And you just click the one. I already set this up, so well, I can do it. Test. Awesome. Meetup thing. Choose your subscription. BizSpark. Good. It's going to expire soon anyway. Of course, the pricing tier. This is basically says like, hey, you can send this much requests per minute or whatever, or this much. There is the free tier, I think, for most of the services, so you can try this stuff out for free. But of course, that has a limit that will hit pretty soon. Blah blah RG, yeah, whatever. I'm not sure if this is going to work, seeing that the portal is still loading.
Derek, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are these still the only two pricing tiers available?
Not sure. I think so. Damn it! Hurry up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of it is online. Also, I have some connections at Microsoft directly, which I can ask. And also, I didn't run into that many issues, so I don't know if you have any particular issues in mind, or.
Yeah, well, I'm working with to recognize text.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm noticing that some recognize numbers and not the commas and the dots. System, which is the other way around.
Probably, yeah.
And I don't know how.
Okay. Probably, I don't know if you got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
Either him or Satya. That's.
For AI.
Okay, so we're not going to wait on this. What's going to happen is it's going to show a page with basically an API key that you're going to need and the URL that you're going to have to post to, and then you can get going. So that's you can figure that stuff out for yourself. Let me see whether I have more. So okay, why should you use Cognitive Services? Because it's awesome, because it's Azure. It's easy to use. It's just REST APIs. It spits out JSON files, JSON objects. You can just get an API key, and whenever your platform supports REST API calls, which is basically every platform nowadays, you can get results from this. So it's cross-platform. You can't get it more cross-platform than this. And it's already tested by a bunch of great people, like Stack Overflow is using this, GitHub is using this. And not only by using it, they're also improving it, because, well, these are all based on publicly available models. So each time they feed data into it, you're also signing your privacy things and giving everything to Azure and Microsoft. So they're just training the models that are behind this, and it will over time just get better. So probably if you feed it a lot of wrong images, it will get better over time. This is already showed you. The thing you might notice here is that it says Project Oxford, which is basically the old name for this. It's been in development for a few years now, and that's basically like the code name for the project. I think they're...
We are changing those.
Yeah, are they done yet?
Not yet.
Not for all of them, right?
No, but they will be.
Yeah, so if you're going to look for the NuGet packages, you could also look for the Project Oxford ones. I think they're in the process of renaming all those things.
Either be Cognitive Services or Azure.
Yeah, so something like that. And this is what I mentioned earlier. So you can say, okay, I want to get back the tags, or the description, or both, or everything. There's more options here. And you can just feed it an image, in this case, in the form of a file stream. And you just say, okay, analyze the image, and you will get back a result, something like this. This is made up, so it's not real. Well, the tags are, but the values aren't. And you will get back, so something like, hey, it's the Terminator, killer robot from the future. I'm 96% sure. So that's basically how you can get started. There's no sound here, which is a pity. So I will talk you through it. Yeah, you do the women voice. So this is from a show called Silicon Valley. And I don't know, does anyone know this from HBO? Yeah, cool. Oh, nice. And this guy is going to show this fantastic AI cognitive services computer vision app that he has created, and it can detect hot dogs. So these other guys, which are in his company, they are like, whoa, this is awesome. We have created an app which can detect objects, and we are going to get filthy rich and that kind of stuff. I don't know what to talk to about, so hurry up. And so they're like ecstatic, and they say, okay, now do the pizza. We want to see it working again. And the result is going to be, it's not a hot dog. So it can detect whether something is a hot dog or it's not a hot dog. And that's not quite what they were expecting. But that's also, it basically shows, I think that's what Seth said something somewhere in his session. That's basically what the thing is with AI as well. I mean, it works as good as the data sets that you put in it right now. So if it doesn't know whether something is something, you can just tell if it's not something, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see some code for this. I took some code from someone else and mixed it with my own to create this not hot dog application, actually. And for now, I've stuffed it into a Azure function, which is also awesome. And well, the full code is basically this, to detect if something is a hot dog or not with Cognitive Services. So that's pretty awesome. Let me walk you quickly walk you through it. So it has the vision key and URI that I couldn't show you in the dreadful, slow Azure portal. Doesn't matter, it's there. And then I'll just instantiate this Vision service client with the key and URI, and I just want to get back the tags. And since this is a Azure function with the HTTP trigger, I can either invoke it by doing a post on it with the image attached, or I can do a get and attach a URL of an image as a query parameter. Either way, it will get the same result. And then we just invoke this on the analyze image async, and we will get the results from there. And then post back a JSON object whether something is a hot dog or not, which was funny, which you see happening here, because sometimes the tag was hot dog as one word, sometimes it was hot dog as 2 words and also 2 tags. So I put them apart and just say looked at it like, hey, is it hot? Is it dog? Then it's a hot dog.
What if you put a dog?
Didn't try that.
What about Hellboy?
So my Azure function is hosted in Azure, which is here, and it just wants an URL here. So then the mission was to find a picture of hot dog, which wasn't that hard. It's even on Wikipedia, as you can see. So whenever I put this in the Azure function here and execute it, it might take a while since it's on the cheap me free tier, and it will give back, is it a hot dog? True. So to show you that I'm not fooling you, you wanted the dog, right? Dog. Yeah, let's go. Oh, and Google changed this, so now I need to do all this fancy stuff because people were complaining about not getting hits on their website. Here we go. No, this is not going to work. Hold on. This one. It's not a hot dog. Woo! Okay. Not quite the reaction I was expecting, but okay. I can do better. So let me see. Should be able to get this on my screen somehow. Or not. There we go. So I put this in an app, and basically, let me show you first. So of course, there's multiple ways to do this. I could have just included the NuGet package in my Xamarin app as well, and just do the request from here. The way I did it now was wrap the code, the logic for the cognitive services into the Azure function, and then invoke that from my app. But either way, it works the same. So the thing that remains that you have to do here, for the guys who didn't see this yet, this is Visual Studio for Mac, which is pretty awesome. Works better than the Windows one. So all go buy out a Mac. And here you go. And basically, this is all the code there is. Because I've used some plugin for getting the image from a camera and that kind of stuff. And then what you just do, this is just C# code, nothing fancy, nothing mobile specific. You just instantiate a HTTP client. And in this case, I'm not doing a get, but I'm doing a post because I have the stream for my image. And I just post that to the Azure function and then do some very hideous code here to dissect the JSON thing, which can be a lot improved. But this works. And whenever I run this, we get this very good-looking app. Not much of a UI designer. So this is it. And I can take a photo. So I thought I can go back to the image that I got from Wikipedia. And then I was like, no, that's no fun. So then I was like, okay, then I'm going to go out to the supermarket, get a can of hot dogs and some bread and put it on there and see what it does. But I figured, like, then I'm just going to throw it out and people are complaining, you're killing animals for a demo. So I wasn't going to do that. So then I went to the Dutch eBay And I thought everything is on there, so probably some conserved hot dog or whatever. And guess what? They had this squishy hot dog. So here goes nothing. I didn't test this yet, so I don't know. Here we go. Make a picture of this hot dog on my laptop. Also didn't implement a loading indicator, so is it a hot dog? Yes. Oh my god, yes, thank you. And to prove you that I'm not bullshitting you again, that would be no. Oh, just hot. This thing feels very weird, by the way. Here, so so let's see. What I have more examples for you. Let me see. Also the. Oops. Thank you. I'm back here. So also for the content moderation part, I actually borrowed some code from Jim Bennett. He was at the Tech Summit as well. Now one of the Azure cloud development guys, whatever they call them. Yeah, that guy. So, and he created this, and he gave me this lousy t-shirt. No, it was a good t-shirt, come on. And he created this sample for the content moderation part. So since this is recorded, I can't put real bad words in here. So let's try with crap, grab. And whenever I try to post that, it says, no, it's rude, you can't do that. So whenever I say snap, then it should be able to just post it. But okay, that's text, right? So that's pretty easy to detect. Now let's try with some other stuff. So what's the other thing that you really hate when you see these social media posts? Food, hot dogs. No. I'm talking duck faces. Come on, you don't want to see duck faces. No one wants to see them. So whenever I make a beautiful duck face here, it's going to say, no, you can't do that. Hopefully my model is trained right. Takes a while. Oh, it's posted, damn it. Try it once more. God, I'm so pretty. Yes, okay, duck face not allowed. So my model needs some improvement, but it seems to work. And well, you already saw the example that it's actually working. So for this, I've created the custom vision. There's this custom vision AI portal. I think Seth maybe already showed you, or at least he talked about this. And there you can put in all these images. So you can see I've had a lot of fun doing this. And here you can basically say, okay, this image is a duck face or a hot dog or whatever you might want to detect. And the other one is not one. And then you can say train with the big train button here. And then it will create a model, and it will be able to tell you whether or not something is a duck face, and then you can act on that. You can just post to it with the REST APIs, just get back the same JSON, nothing fancy. And you can do this kind of stuff.
These were all the images needed.
Yeah, this is everything I needed. And it's not perfect, as you can see, but it's not much. I think each tag needs as less as 5 images or something to be able to give some kind of output. So yeah, not much is needed. Mm-hmm.
So the second picture from the right top.
Oh my God.
Yes.
This one?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing there. I think it's supposed to be one. Let's see.
Yeah,
duck face, yeah. So this is labeled as a duck face.
You can actually select on the left-hand side.
Ah, yeah. Oh my God, this is so awkward. Oh, yeah. Should not demo this. Okay. Also, what you can do, you can add or remove more images, and then you can train it again. And each training will provide you with an iteration. And then you can also see, I think this is also something Seth mentioned. You get the precision and the recall. So I don't know, you put it rather good. So one is like how much of the time we predict something, it's actually the results we're after. And the recall was
how good we are
how good we're guessing truth. Yeah. So this one is rather bad, and I think like iteration 3 was pretty good. So I think I put it to this one because you can set a default iteration set that you want to use. So whenever you hit up the endpoint, where is it? Prediction URL, something here. You can just hit this endpoint, and it will give you the default prediction set that you set here. But you can play on the background while you're developing, and you can actually specify, I want to send something to this specific iteration set, and you can test like whether the results get better or worse or that kind of stuff. Also, at least on iOS, I'm not sure on Android, you have the ability to have these models locally. So now the results were pretty slow because this is going to South Central US, so it's going back and forth. The images tend to be pretty big. So if you want to have things faster, then you can get a model. I think you have to do something specific for this because the option is disabled for now. You can export this, and you can put this model, which is really compact, and put it on your device so you have it locally, and then the result is instant. You can just take a picture, and it gives you, okay, duck face and not duck face. Don't have to wait. So that's pretty awesome. You don't need an internet connection. You don't need to send stuff to Azure. You can just use it locally.
Jared, how is this price? Do you still only pay for consumption?
Oh my God.
Service, or do you also pay for a training model?
Seth?
I think you pay for consumption, but I don't know. But email me, I can figure out real quick.
I'm not sure on that one as well. Dude, I'm an MVP. I get everything for free. Wow. No, that's not true either. But
Maybe a newbie question. How can the thing know that it's stuff? Using transfer learning. So we have a really big deep learning model that we have. So you just slice the top off. Then we use that, these images, to build a couple layers on top of that. And that. So we've trained a really good image model, and then we transfer all that learning over here.
But also, like in the training data, it's labeled by him. So he labels what pictures contain duck faces and what which don't, such that you can train a model on your own, like training set. And
So far I lost.
Okay.
What are the characteristics that uses after labeling it as duck face? Just a pixel.
Did you notice the black bar on top of the duck?
Yeah.
Right.
so,
A quick question on the, you said running locally on a device.
Mhm.
Just simplify that. That model, is it compiled to what format? How would it run?
it's called a core ML file. It's a machine learning file. I don't know if it's binary.
It's just a way of storing the W.
Yeah.
Okay. And it needs core ML to actually
Yeah.
execute that.
Yeah. And there's probably a, I don't know if you know, but there's probably an Android
There is. You can
version of
download
that as well.
the Photobus file, which is what you saw me upload into the Windows application.
That P something.
.pv. So I think you download the Photobus file.
So I've quickly put on the code for the awesome or amazing social media app that you just saw, which yeah, I can keep showing you examples of these kind of things, but it basically comes down to, yeah, installing the NuGet package and doing a request, and that's basically it. And then you just say, okay, do I see a duck face or not? And if we go above some kind of threshold, which is 50%, I think, then we can say, okay, yes or no, it's a duck face. And for the text, it's even easier. Because the prediction for that is in the text moderation API. You can also detect the language of it, where also things start to go wrong because of course in Dutch you have some English words and the other way around. So it's not perfect, but it can detect a lot of things and detect whether or not something is something that should be moderated or not. What do I have more? I just one. We're here anyway, so let's do another quick one. which is basically the demo of the website in app form. Come on, work with me here. Thank you. So the face API and that kind of stuff, telling you all the features there is in the faces and emotions and that kind of things. So there's this little demo app here, which just spits out the JSON result. So whenever we start sending faces, we will get back this JSON result. And what it does is create a face API. I think by default, these kinds of faces are saved for 1 hour, but you can also train them to recognize actual people. So you can put in, then you have these persons that you have to create, and at least give them one face. So then you have a person ID and a face ID. And then you can start sending faces to that service, and it will tell you like, hey, this is this person. And then of course, the persons and the faces you associate with that, the more faces you put into there, the better the model gets. So it will get better at recognizing people. Those get stored like infinitely. The ones you're sending to compare to, they just will be stored for 1 hour. And you get this ridiculous amount of details back. So the face rectangle, so where is it in the image? Attribute, smile, I didn't smile. The head pose, so roll, jaw, whatever. Gender, male. Age, no, we're not going to talk about that. Facial hair, I have 0.3 beard. Pretty nice, considering this is from my 16th. No glasses, blur, exposure, so it also tells me something about the image itself. Not wearing makeup. Good thing I didn't put it on this morning. Also, by the way, on the glasses part, I think they did a demo on the tech days here in Holland, and they had this camera at the entrance. So they scanned all the people that were coming by, and there was this cute little sign below it. Like, if you walk past this point, you give us permission to. Nobody saw the sign, so everyone gave permission. And they displayed all the data that they got from it. And there was, well, I don't know, some people with glasses, some people without. But there was one person with swimming glasses. So it's able to detect swimming glasses. And I don't know why you would go take your swimming glasses to the tech days, but okay, probably it was a false positive, but it's still funny that it can detect those kind of things as well. So it's ridiculous what you can get from this. And also it doesn't detect one face, but if I take a picture of all of you guys, come on. Not sure if this is close enough. Well, you get the same things, but here you can see face ID 1, and probably when we scroll down, we will get another one. So it is also able to detect multiple faces in one images. So you see it detects a whole lot of them here. Someone, is there someone 38.3 years old? Yeah? No? Okay. Almost. And also the emotion API, again, this will get merged by the face API. So if I look, it scrolls up again, and it will tell me which is the top emotion here, which is surprise, only almost 60%. I would say this is close to 100, but okay. So this is all things you can use. So how can you use this? Well, this is used now in the, I'm not going to open my private photo collection here, but actually this is used on iOS. If you have an iOS device, and it will pop up sometimes with like, hey, we have a new memory for you, and shows you all these pictures in this cool collage. And it actually uses, well, probably not the cognitive services, but it uses similar technology to detect the faces and show you the pretty images and not the crappy ones. So there's a lot of stuff already on your phone doing this right now. And you can use this for text recognition. There's this one app that we've built for the expenses. So one thing you have to do probably if you're traveling a lot for your company, you can do these expenses. And you could just create a picture of your receipt, and it would automatically read like the amounts from it. And well, it wasn't 100% good, so we used it for like suggestions. So you got a pop-up first, like, hey, we found these amounts, and you could select one, which is still better than having to type it manually. So On some points, it's not perfect yet, but it's a good way there. So of course, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this. There's also some actual meaningful stuff you can do with this. The emotion detection at retail displays, you already saw that. It would be nice if they would ask you, or at least let you know that they're doing this. But yeah, this is something that you can do at the displays or at the store to like track whatever you feel when you're looking at toys or something else, and to improve how they rearrange their store and their products. Facial identification of missing children or other people. There was this item on TV. It's not going to make any sense to Seth, but Zondag with Lubach. Anyone know the show, like the show? He had this item on China, and they're creepingly far with this kind of stuff. They actually have the millions of cameras already, and they're not just scanning like who does what, but they only already know who those people are. And they're starting to roll out these sanctions that if you don't go, this is a real example, if you don't go to your parents enough, then you start losing perks, so you can't use the public transport anymore. And
make like a classification.
Yeah, that they're
Trying to build like a classification.
yeah, they're starting to do kind of, and there's this other show, Black Mirror. It's pretty much a scenario from Black Mirror where they each interaction with a person, you could say, okay, like or dislike, and you get credits, or you or you lose credits, and then whenever you start going down the social ladder, then you can't get the nice houses and you can't go drive a cab anymore, and that's where it's pretty much heading in China right now. So that's pretty creepy. But you can do good stuff with it as well, like find missing children at the borders or something. Sentiment analysis, blah, blah, blah. Object recognition, there's also this pretty good project from Microsoft, which is this one, the Seeing AI. I think it's already available as an app on iOS as well, which has this person in the lead role. And he has basically a HoloLens light on his, well, not completely a HoloLens because he's blind, so he won't see anything projected in the air. But he has this little camera in front of it, and by making use of the cognitive services, it can tell to him what he is seeing, or if he sees a person he knows, or what is on the menu that he has in front of him. So this is a pretty cool project that combines a lot of these cognitive services and yeah, puts it to good use. Got it. And there's some more fun as well. So when these services got developed, I think the developers at Microsoft had some fun as well. So on the left, you see actually basically the cognitive services that tells the captions that we saw earlier. And it is also able to recognize celebrities. So whenever a celebrity is on the picture, you say it can say who it sees on the picture. Celebs like me, so you can say, okay, upload this. If Facebook is full of this crap, you can upload a picture and it will say, hey, you look like Anthony Hopkins. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. And there's Project Murphy. I'll just quickly show that to wrap it up, which is pretty funny. Project Murphy. And this also combines a couple of these cognitive services as well, which is also built on top of the bot framework. So you can access it by Skype, Messenger, Telegram, Kik, whatever. So let's go with Messenger and hope nothing awkward is in here. Nope. Ah, see, I already have it here. Oh, that's spoilers. Okay. So, and you can just ask anything. So as you can see, what's a good example? What if Arnold, oh, I'm not going to be able to spell this, Schwarzenegger, I hope to get this, was a girl. You see, I borrowed some there. And it will now go out probably through the Bing image search and get an image of Arnold Schwarzenegger, get an image of a girl, and by the face API, it detects where its face is, and he can swap them out. Also, what you see happening is the text recognition here and the intent and whatever, because I'm typing this to him and he gets like, okay, I want to know what if Arnold Schwarzenegger as an entity is a girl, which is another entity, and it knows how to combine those things and get a result from that. So you can have a full day of fun with this. Come up with whatever stupid. There was this pretty cool example I saw at a session once. What if Nadella was chased by an elephant? Damn it. Okay, not sure what's going on here. This is not really being chased, but okay, you can have ask it anything and you can just see what it comes up with. So this is what I already mentioned. Go to microsoft.com/cognitive. You can find all the information there about the bunch of stuff that I've already told you. It has a free tier, so you can start looking into this for free. Also, the custom vision has, I think, some trial for 30 days. So basically, everything you want to take a look at is free to start with, and then at some point, you probably have to pay for it. My name is Gerald Sluis, and thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.